In her novel Purple Hibiscus, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie discusses the way that oppression affects the lives of many people. Set in 1960s Nigeria, the story tells of the 15-year-old girl Kambili and her family. Before I continue, I want to add a disclaimer. I have never been to Nigeria before, and so my pronunciation is probably very off. I do not mean to offend with that. Before reading this novel, I also did not know much about the culture in Nigeria during that time, so my understanding of the context of the book is not complete. Kambili and her family are very rich. Her father, who I will refer to as Papa from now on, is the owner of several factories and the publisher of the only newspaper that still speaks the truth in the tyrannical regime. From the outside, he is a perfect saint, but right from the beginning of the book we can see that this isn't true. I really liked how the book started with the action right from the beginning. In the first scene, Papa loses his temper at Kambili's brother, Jaja, and throws a missal at him, missing him and instead breaking Mama's figurines. For those of you who don't know what a missal is, it is basically a book with all that has to be said in mass. After this start, we are transported back in time and join Kambili and Jaja as they see life from two sides. The first one is life with Papa, who is easily displeased and violent, but provides every material thing that his family could ever wish for. The other side is life with Aunt Ifeoma, who is Papa's widowed sister, a professor with 3 children. Like the purple hibiscus growing in her garden, she has a life full of freedom and laughter. She may not be rich, but she is a representation of everything that Papa is not. Her religion is a lot freer than Papa, and she allows her children to have opinions, gladly listening to them talk. I really liked how the story was set up. We were not slowly introduced to the characters, but rather thrown right into the action and into their lives. While I often appreciate good world building first, I think that in this case Adichie made the right choice in not doing that first. Rather, she first shows us an instance of violence where we can immediately tell that something is wrong, and then slowly takes us on the journey to discover what happened to lead up to that moment. As the saying goes, put a frog in boiling water and he will jump out. Slowly boil the water and he will boil to death. By allowing us to see the water, we were put in boiling water. Sorry, I meant to say the problem. But afterwards we watched as the characters were slowly boiled to death to the point of not running away from Papa. I also really like the characters. I found Jaja such a great character because his bravery to take the blame for anything and anytime Papa got angry with Kambili was something that I, as an older sister, would like to do as well. He could have saved himself so much pain by not protecting his sister, and yet he chose to step in again and again. And even though Mama and Auntie Fioma were so different, I also enjoyed both of them. They both dealt with Papa in different ways, and I liked how there was no victim blaming for Mama, even though Aunt Fioma told her to run away from Papa. Instead, Mama was shown as loving and just unable to get away. Kambili was also realistic. The way that she had to adjust to freedom when she was with her aunt and cousins struck me as very realistic, as Papa's rules and punishments has been so ingrained in her that she was unable to step out of the behavior she was used to. I did not like the Papa character, but I liked the way that he was written. He was written in a way that was clearly shown as bad, but also in a way that where we could see him from the outside as well, the way he cared for the church and his staff, and the way he always claimed to want what was best for his family. This is a historical fiction set in Nigeria in the 1960s. I really appreciated the fact that I never felt as though I was being walked through a new world. It was simply told a story, and the world built itself around it. It was never told who was ruling the country, never told that the regime was tyrannical. Instead, it was shown through the way that Adekoker was treated when he was arrested, through the way that there were so little resources to go around, through the way that everyone either had to bribe people or suffer. The writing in this book was also rather straightforward. There wasn't a lot of complex imagery. This worked quite well, even though I would have liked to see how Adichie could have used words in a little more complexity. Overall, this was a very good read. I give it 4.5 out of 5 stars.